This end of the year episode is brought to you by Netflix. Hey guys, it's Anthony, and looking back, 2013 was a really amazing year for games. I like end of generation years because everybody who's working on a console has the full power of the unit at their disposal. They know how to make a good game for it, get everything they want out of it. And it's also when all like the weirder, smaller stuff starts coming out because the big guys are moving on to the next console, so the little guys get to put all their weird ideas out there and get a ton of promotion for it. When I was looking back on 2013, I realized I was trying to do a top 5, and I realized that for every game that I was putting on, there was another game that I really wanted to put on that I didn't because they're so similar. I like them for the same reasons, or they have the same things going on. So I'm kind of doing a light world, dark world, high rule, low rule version of my list with all the stuff that's on it, and then the stuff that nearly made it. So starting off high rule, low rule, Link Between Worlds. It's the best Zelda in almost 20 years. Why? Because they got rid of all the nasty cruft that had built up around Zelda. There is no endless tutorializing. There is no being shuttled down a narrow, linear path to finish everything. This is classic Zelda the way I loved it. Oh, hey Link, there's a sage near you to the east. Really? Well, F you, because I'm gonna rent a fire rod even though I'm not supposed to have one right now, and I'm gonna walk to the west for as long as I want, and maybe I'll find something there. Even things that I thought were going to break the game, like the ability to grab any item anytime you want without finding it in a dungeon, actually just fixed the game. Fast travel fixed the game. It is my favorite Zelda in a long time, and I hope that they take this design direction and place it into all of the Zeldas in the future, including the Wii U ones. So what is the bizarro version of this that nearly made it to the list? Guacamelee. Guacamelee also bringing that light world, dark world concept from Link to the Past, but bringing in some classic elements from Super Metroid, from Symphony of the Night, and also being really great on a portable. Guacamelee on the Vita is like the best way to play it, but in the end, I went with Link Between Worlds just because I felt like the gameplay was paced better, there was a deeper world to explore, and better chicken jokes. 20 years of chicken jokes. Moving with that sort of classic Symphony of the Night, Super Metroid inspired, yada yada yada. Rogue Legacy. I played so much Rogue Legacy this year because if you are a fan of those old Metroidvania style games, this is just such a perfect implementation of all of that stuff. Plus, roguelike. You can play it endlessly. The layout is always changing. I never stop playing Rogue Legacy. I probably play it every day before I play whatever it is that I'm going to actually be playing. On the flip side, the Dark World version of this, Risk of Rain, which I also like because of its random layout elements. I also like it because it is incredibly hard. But the reason Risk of Rain didn't make it is because it came out really late in the year, and I feel like I haven't played it as much. And also, you don't have the ability to play a character with ADD. Next up, oh man, this was so hard. It was so hard to choose which one was actually going to be on the list and which one was going to be on the runner-up list. But here's the way it's gonna go. Final list is gonna be Gone Home. Runner-up is gonna be Stanley Parable. And I like them both for the same reason. I like them both because they subvert your idea of a video game narrative. You think you're gonna go one way and it takes you another way. Whereas with Stanley Parable, that's sort of built around liking to break video games, liking to be the person who tries to go down the wrong path and watch everything fall apart, and then being built around not letting you do that and using it as an ability to show off free will and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. You played the Stanley Parable. But the reason why I like Gone Home a little better is while Stanley Parable really made me laugh and kind of tickled me cerebrally, Gone Home did the same thing, but was gutsy in that it was telling a normal story about normal characters. And the way it subverted your ideas was here you are in this big seventh guesty house, and you think every single time you open a new door, it's gonna take a really video gamey direction. It's gonna be ghosts or robots or Nazis or medical experiment. And it's just a story about a normal family. And I love the gutsiness of that. So that's why Gone Home gets on the A list. And unfortunately, Stanley Parable gets on the B list. But I think Stanley Parable likes being on the B list. It's haughty like that. Next up, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, I was really late to the game on. I was trying to fill in some holes here in the stuff that I had played this year, and I was asking friends, is there anything I should go back and play? And Phil Kohler was like, dude, trust me, go back and play Tomb Raider. I did not want to, because when I went to press events for Tomb Raider and I read all the early press stuff for Tomb Raider, it sounded like they were other Emming Lara, you know, like they did to Samus Aran, where they just made her this scared baby that needs everybody's help. But it wasn't like that. They really did a great job of reinventing Lara Croft as a human action hero. And what I mean by that is you feel the danger around you at all times. Whereas Uncharted took from the original Tomb Raider and moved forward into sort of more action movie territory, the new Tomb Raider took from Uncharted and was like, well, why is Nathan Drake getting beaten up by 37 dudes and falling down a waterfall, and then he goes like this, like a dog after a bath, and he looks fine? You really feel like Lara is experiencing all the stuff that's going on. You take a fall from 20 feet, and she face plants. She doesn't dive and roll or anything like that. It is really, really cool. And the danger on that island, the things that come out and just surprise you, and all of a sudden, whoa, I'm dead. I love that. It really felt like a human being in these situations. Also, the design of the island, not just the visuals, which are unbelievable. It's a beautiful island with a lot of different environments to explore, but the actual level design, the actual platforming, the actual going down side paths and finding these tombs that are like the tombs in the old Tomb Raider, these physics puzzles that never really worked in the old days because they had to kind of fake them, and now they work perfectly. I loved it. I love exploring that island. I thought it was a really, really fun game, tightly paced, and just a great reboot.
I hate tombs.
Flip side of that, another game that tried to reinvent a franchise that I don't care much about anymore was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. When I'm in a boat, I love Black Flag. God, I love boats. That was awesome. You know what I don't like? I don't like chasing down 30 dudes in a row or hiding at exactly 20 feet away. And when I'm not in a boat, Assassin's Creed is still doing too much of that, and that's why I didn't make it onto my final list. But more boats, and 2014, I'm into it.
I have no love for assassins, but even less for liars.
Finally, my big one for this year, you know, I was talking in the beginning about how everybody gets the hang of the hardware and is able to do really amazing things with it by the end of the generation. The Last of Us. The Last of Us is such an amazing swan song for the PS3 as a piece of hardware, right? Because here you have Naughty Dog, and I feel like Naughty Dog's story is kind of the story of the PS3, right? The Uncharted games really defined the PS3 for me. And here they are saying, well, we can grow up. We can do a mature story. We can build a world that feels real and feels grounded. We can build this relationship between characters that feels grounded. We can take things that you already know about video games. We can take stealth. We can take these sort of zombie-esque monsters, and we can reinvent them and make them look new and present them in a way that's just endlessly fascinating. I loved The Last of Us so much. The flip side of this one would be BioShock Infinite, which I like for a lot of the same reasons. I like the world. I like the characters. There are these emotional moments in both games that really, really hit you very hard. I think the difference for me, the reason why The Last of Us edged out BioShock, is just Naughty Dog really kept in mind at all times that the story and the gameplay are intertwined, and you have to be true to both of them. They have to be equally important, and they both have to work on every level at all times. And I feel like BioShock slipped and fell on that a couple times, right? I love the beginning, I love the end. The middle kind of gets a little, but The Last of Us was perfect all the way through as far as I'm concerned. I know you guys have your own opinions. I would like to hear your opinions on my Light World, Dark World list. Anything that I left out, anything that you guys think I missed about these games, anything you disagree with. I'm open to that. I want to hear it. Also, remember, everybody here at Rev3 Games is doing a list. I feel like if you are in the San Francisco area and you're running around the office or near our office, let us know. Come in, do an end of the year list. They're all going to be here on our channel, so be sure to subscribe. Hey, we want to take a minute here at the end and thank our sponsor, Netflix. Netflix lets you stream your favorite movies and TV shows straight to your home. It saves you time, money, saves you the hassle of dealing with a cable company. All you need is an internet connection and a Netflix-enabled device like a computer, a smartphone, maybe that brand new PS4 or Xbox One, huh? Best of all, you can get a free trial membership and support Rev3 Games by heading to netflix.com/Rev3Games.